Hello, I'm Rob Schaefer, featured columnist for Missouri Meetings and Events magazine. How to properly use a knife, fork, and spoon is more than getting the food from the plate to your mouth. It can save you embarrassment at a social event and be a deal breaker at a job interview luncheon. Blaming your mother or the love of fast food is no excuse with educational resources such as this. Rules of etiquette were designed to make dining easier and not make it a feat to eat. When approaching the table, gentlemen should always assist ladies in seating. Napkins should be unfolded and laid across the lap, never used as a bib. We wipe our mouth with the fold of the napkin. Bread and wine are offered first. If the butter or margarine is not preset on the bread plate, take a small amount on your bread plate. Bread and rolls should be pulled apart with your hands into small pieces. Butter each piece individually as it is consumed. The butter knife or spreader is laid across the bread plate and remains there during dinner. If there is a bread basket on the table, it is always passed to the right. Many facilities use a multi-purpose glass for all their beverages. With finer dining, glassware will vary in size and include a water glass and a red and white wine glass. The white wine glass is thinner with a smaller bowl. This is to prevent your hand from warming the chilled wine. Red wine has the fullest bowl to allow maximum surface space to release the bouquet of the wine. Champagne glasses have a narrow flute to prevent bubbles from escaping too rapidly. As servers come around to pour, never turn your glass upside down at a formal or social event. If you don't want a particular drink, simply run your hand over the mouth of the glass to indicate that you don't want any. However, with some events on a budget with limited staff, and to prevent servers from asking you all evening, you may turn your glass upside down. The water glass is notorious for dripping, and there's no real way around this. One secret I have learned is to drag your glass across the linen to wipe away the excess drips before you consume the water. Soup during a meal will either be served in a soup cup or a soup bowl. It is always accompanied by a base plate. The soup spoon is a larger, deeper spoon and will always be on your right. The proper way to eat soup is to pick up your spoon with your right hand and hold the handle of the spoon much like a pencil. If you imagine the bowl as a clock, you will draw the soup into the spoon, moving it towards the 12 o'clock position. Never completely fill the spoon with soup, and once at the top of the bowl, run the spoon against the rim of the bowl to remove any drips. Then bring the spoon to your mouth and sip from the side of the spoon closest to you, not the end. When you pause during the soup course, leave your soup spoon in the bowl with the handle tilted towards the 4 o'clock position. When you have completed the soup course, remove the spoon and place it to the right side of the bowl on the base plate. Never leave it in the bowl unless the plate is not there. There are two basic styles to use your knife and fork. The American style, which causes you to shift the utensils during the dining process, or the continental style, which allows you to keep your fork and knife in the same hands during the meal. I believe that the continental style is much easier, as you do not need to shift your utensils during the dinner course. Remember this: once you begin using any utensil during the course, it will rest on the plate or saucer and never touch the table linen again. We begin with the American style of dining. Notice that the fork is in my left hand and I've turned it so the points or tines are pointed down. The knife is in my right hand and I use it to cut a bite of food. With the American style, I rest the knife on the plate and shift my fork from my left to my right hand. Then my right hand carries the bite of food to my mouth. This process continues throughout the meal until it is consumed. Emily Post refers to this as the zigzag method. Sometimes, with a first course, a salad course, only one knife is provided. When you need to reuse that knife for your dinner course, I simply rest it on the dinner knife if there is one, or against the bread and butter plate. With the American style of dining, when you have completed the meal, you may indicate that you're finished and the server may clear your plate if you position the fork and knife in the 11 o'clock and 5 o'clock position. With the American style of dining, remember the tines always face up. The continental style of dining is commonly seen in Europe and I think less stressful for diners. The fork is always held in the left hand and the knife is always held in the right hand, and they do not shift places at any time. Notice where my fingers are placed in the photo and that the tines and knife blade face down. With the continental style of dining, I only turn the fork upright as I raise a bite of food to my mouth. As you can see, it is an easy process to hold your primary utensils and eat properly. Just relax and allow the tip of your index finger to guide you. During the continental style of dining, if you pause during the course, the knife and fork should cross each other. When finished, the knife and fork go to the 11-5 position, however with the tines down. It is that easy. When consuming an entree with the American style of dining, remember that you will be shifting the knife and fork. Simply cut a small bite of the food, place your knife at the top of the plate, and shift the fork into your right hand, and then bring that bite of food to your mouth. When consuming an entree with the American style of dining, we often encounter items that are tricky, such as pasta. Remember to set your knife at the top of the plate, shift your fork into your right hand, and simply curl some of the pasta at the tip of the fork, and then carry that to your mouth. If the pasta is long and stringy and does not curl easily, simply take the fork into your right hand and use the edge of the fork to cut the pasta slightly. You may then scoop it up on the base of the fork and then carry that to your mouth. With the American style of dining and completing the entree course, again use the 11 and 5 o'clock position with the tines facing up. When you have completed your entree with the continental style of dining, again use the 11 and 5 o'clock position, except this time place your tines down. Many times when coffee service begins, the cup is turned upside down. Turn the cup upright to indicate you would like coffee. If you add cream or sugar to your coffee, simply add it, but if there's any table waste such as a paper wrapping, add that to your saucer. Do not put it back on the table linen. Take your spoon, which is at the top of your dessert plate, mix your coffee, and then simply lay that on the saucer, again not on the table linen. Your dessert fork will be either at the top of the plate or to the left of the plate. Again, all rules of American and continental style dining still apply. If you would like to attend one of my etiquette courses, either as an individual or as a group, please email me at rschaefer@beatmags.com. Bon appetit.